again, similar question. A better technique than disagreeing is just to ask questions. You know, boss, hey, I want to make sure I get this right. Can you explain it to me again? Can you watch me do it? Right? So your boss actually sees what the problem is. That way, you're not being offensive. Hey, boss, can you explain why you chose this course of action? I really want to learn from what you did, the way you do it. Again, does that sound like a kiss ass? Yes, because I'm exaggerating. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hey, boss, you're so incredibly smart. No, I'm not talking about that, because bosses don't like ass kisses either. At least good bosses. Good bosses don't. And actually, even good bosses, they might keep their kiss asses around, but they don't respect them. So you don't gain influence by being a kiss ass. Yeah. It's not a good situation. So I'm not talking about kissing ass, but, you know, hey, boss, I'm really wanting to understand this and make sure I understand it. Can you explain to me why this is the best way to do this versus the other way? You know, that's the kind of question. That's not kissing ass. That's actually, you know, it is actually legitimately wanting to know. Yeah. Like, I legitimately want to know. Maybe, what if we, instead of assuming that we know better than our boss, what if we assume that my boss knows better than me? Let's make that assumption. And if you communicate with that assumption, then you're probably going to communicate in a much better way than communicating with the assumption that my boss is an idiot and I know better than him. Yeah. Which is not a good way to communicate. That's why I'm not saying kiss ass. And the way I just explained that of actually assuming that your boss knows more than you is a good way to approach the situation, as opposed to approaching the situation like you know more than your boss. Yeah. Why act like that? Dude, the outcome is going to be inferior. The outcome is inferior. The outcome of acting like your boss or assuming that your boss knows more than you, the outcome is you treat them with respect. Because the other way, you could try and treat them with respect, but inadvertently you sound like, you know, some people, we talk about normal face, right? Some people, they cannot even ask a question in a respectful way, right? They can't even, what was I saying over here? They can't even say, you know, hey boss, can you explain this to me? Because I really want to they can't even say that, you know, hey boss, can you explain this to me? Because this doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, they can't they can't even ask a question in a respectful way. Yeah. That's a skill you should master as a leader and as a follower. As a leader and as a follower, how to ask questions in a respectful way. Leif pointed this out. Leif pointed out, we were talking about the fact of I would say, it's a story he's told a bunch of times, of going through the kill house and he's in the back of the train. And you shouldn't be in the back of the train. You should be somewhere where you can lead everyone, because when you're in the back of the train, you don't know what's happening in the front of the train. Of assaulters, a big group of people moving through a kill house. And he goes, you know, Jocko didn't say, hey, stop doing that and do it this other way. He's like, he asked me questions. And he's like, they were real questions. I wasn't like, hey, Leif, why the hell are you in the back of the train? Is that a respectful question? No, it's not a respectful question. But it's like, hey, Leif, what are you doing in the back of the train? This is a respectful question. I'm actually assuming that maybe Leif, who doesn't have the experience that I have, who's my subordinate as a platoon commander, to me, the big task unit commander, my assumption is not that I know more than him. My assumption is that he's got a reason for that. My assumption is that he knows more than me. This is one of Jordan Peterson's 12 rules for life. It's like, I think it's assume the person that you're talking to knows more than you. What I'm saying is the same thing, up and down the chain of command. You assume that your boss or your subordinate knows something that you don't know. And if you can ask questions in that way, instead of asking questions, boss, what are we doing this for? Or Leif, why are you doing that? Leif, why are you in the back of the train? That's stupid. No. It's like, hey Leif, why are you in the back of the train? What is your purpose of being back there? I genuinely want to know. And this isn't like, I'm not even saying I'm acting like that. I truly, genuinely want to know what the deal is. So make the assumption up and down the chain of command that your boss, your subordinate, knows more than you, and then ask good questions with true, genuine curiosity that you want to know the answers to. It's a good way to go about it.
Some people didn't understand when I say I'm training for life. 2020 was the perfect example of that. A lot of people lost jobs, lost businesses, lost family members. A lot of folks spent a lot of time in the hospital on ventilators. That should have caused a lot of damage in your brain. Folks see how much that work out. And they think I'm running from demons. It's not demons, it's discipline. And I'm a disciple of discipline. You cannot run the demons. They'll always find you. Only way to beat them motherfuckers is look at them eye to eye and make them your bitch. Mindset's the only thing that gets you through hard times. Merry fucking Christmas. So this young man, he's working with his counselor, trying to find his why. So he emails me. He wants my opinion. Well, here it is. Trying to find your why is another way of procrastinating, taking fucking action. So, the question does not end with why. It starts with why. Why the fuck don't you want to be in better shape? Why the fuck don't you want to be a better fucking student? Why don't you want to be more successful? So this is something I can say, and your counselor can't because he might get fired. Maybe you can't find your why because you're lazy. Maybe you can't find your why because you have zero fucking ambition. Regardless, you need to go out here and find it. Stay hard.
People ask me all the time how I'm able to be so vulnerable. I wasn't always this person, trust me. I used to be embarrassed about lies I told. Fucked up family issues, marriages I was in, things I fucking cheated on, things I quit. I was embarrassed about all that shit. So a lot of people had things on me, and they had power over me and could use this whenever they wanted to. And I didn't like how that felt. So I wanted to get to a spot in my life where I could put a fucking billboard up in the town I lived in with every fucking thing I did wrong, and let people drive by and see it. And I'm finally at that point. So when you get to that point, you kind of take that power back from people. But my question to you is this: are you at a point in your life where you can put a billboard up in your town and have folks drive by that? Stay hard.
Life has a great way of conditioning your mind. Being the color I am. inflicted. I didn't fit in anywhere. I got called nigger around whites. I got called half-breed and sold out around some blacks. My mind was in the valley. I was stuck in there. Until I was willing to climb the mountain and look down on the reality of my life. The reality of my life was I had a lot of friends. I didn't see that. I saw this. A lot of us were predisposed. So our mindset does one thing. You hear one thing and you're ready to jump the gun, go off. I was defensive growing up. Ready to hear something negative. Right now we got a lot of bad shit going on in the world. We gotta stop being defensive. We gotta hear everybody's shit. Whether it be bad or good. Be ready to listen. Stay hard.